The community of Morbach is situated in the popular German holiday region Hunsrück, is an approved climatic spa town and has high living and recreational value. Morbach is also an upcoming shopping place and the central industry, trade and business side of the region. With 11,000 inhabitants, Morbach is still a contemplative community worth living in. And Morbach is very special. Morbach produces its own energy in a climate-friendly way in the Energielandschaft or Energy area Morbach. The Energielandschaft was built on the compound of the biggest US Air Force ammunition depot in Europe. 14 wind energy converters, a huge solar panel testing field, biomass plants and many companies that work with renewable energies and make use of synergy effects. The Energielandschaft produces more than 3 times the energy that the citizens of Morbach need. In 2009, this was more than 50 million kilowatt-hours.
The
Energielandschaft here in Morbach is so special because it is the first project that implements all the potentials of the region in a cooperation of the public sector, private investors and universities. It is an example for other regions how to make the best use of all the potentials in terms of jobs, sustainability, environmental protection and in technical innovations. We think that this project shows what the potentials of the regions in Germany are, economical, ecological and social. It shows what we can achieve in 20 years with sustainable environmental protection. Besides the well-known technologies of wind power and photovoltaic, this biomass plant is a central element of the Energielandschaft. It produces electrical power from plants and residues of agriculture. Maize, grass and other plants are delivered by regional farmers. This plant mass is worked on in the storage area by lactic acid bacteria and by that turned into a so-called silage. The silage is then shredded and transported together with cattle slurry into these giant green tanks, the fermenters, where they are degraded by bacteria. A methane-containing gas is formed in the process. The methane is used in such gas-driven engines that produce electricity via a generator. We produce electrical power for 1,200 households with this biogas installation. That saves 300,000 liters of fuel each year. The power is produced climate-friendly because all the carbon dioxide that is released during the combustion process in the engines was taken out of the air in the first place by the plants for their growth. Through the transformation of the methane into electrical power, a lot of heat is produced, which is used by the pellet production plant next door. Wood shavings and dust that originate from the local wood industry are pressed into these little rods, the so-called pellets. These pellets are used in special ovens and furnaces for heating, substituting fuel or natural gas. The pellets are usually transported in bulk by trucks to distributors and customers, but they can also be packed in small bags for private use and demonstration. Since the waste heat from the biomass plant is not sufficient for the pellet production, the additional energy comes from these wood chips, which are burned in a special wood chip furnace. Wood pellets have the great advantage of sustainability in comparison with fuel or natural gas. The commodity is sustainable, regrowing and constantly produced in sawing and wood industry, and you can produce it over and over again. Pellet furnaces can be found in the Energielandschaft as well. In the showroom, situated directly in the information center, visitors can have a look at some modern, renewable energy system and take it home if they want to. The Canada blockhouses fit perfectly into the Energielandschaft in Morbach. Made from big pinewood logs, solid wood blockhouses are produced here, like the ones you know from American movies. The tree logs come from sustainable forestry in the region, and scrubs, shavings and residual pieces of wood are used in the site for furnaces or for wood pellet production. Of course, the vast area of the Energielandschaft, more than 145 hectares, has to be taken care of. Morbach has put shepherd Markus Steffen and his animals in charge of this task. The natural care through the sheep is slightly more expensive than a lawnmower, but it doesn't need any fuel, results in wonderful sheep products and enriches the biodiversity on the special rough pasture of the Energielandschaft. The solar water conditioning systems are an affair of the heart for the Morbach community and also part of the Energielandschaft. These systems turn water into drinking water with the use of solar power. In a big part of Africa, for example in Mali, but also in many other countries, a lot of people are dying because of contaminated water. Morbach supports the purchase of such solar water conditioning systems as well as the installation and the training of African maintenance personnel.
In der Zwischenzeit
Right now we equip maternity stations as well as schools with these solar water conditioning systems. As a general rule, the amount of water produced is sufficient for a whole village. With its wide spectrum of renewable energies and many other technologies and services in the environmental field, the Energielandschaft is a prime example. Therefore, it is here where the first installation for the production of Terra Preta is being planned. Terra Preta is an exceptionally fertile black soil that was produced and used for thousands of years by the indigenous cultures in Amazonia. Scientists from all over the world are interested in Terra Preta, but with the decline of some indigenous civilizations, the know-how for the production of it was lost. We have rediscovered the processes and now we can produce Terra Preta from different biomass that has similar properties to the original Terra Preta. In some respects even superior properties. And the potential is great. We found out with Terra Preta we can make soil fertile again, enhance its water storage capacity and even the nutrient concentration tremendously, not to mention the effect for climate protection. Gigantic amount of nutrients are washed out of the arable land. Farmers tried to work against it, mainly with chemical fertilizers. And still much of the land is getting less fertile, huge areas are becoming unusable for agriculture. Terra Preta, the thousands of years old recipe of the indigenous Amazonians, could be the solution. From biological residues, certain bacteria and fungi produce the nutrient soil Terra Preta. So fertile that plants like beetroot or courgette grow a lot bigger and faster. And the system runs in a closed loop. Organic waste can be processed and used for the production of new plants. With this and other projects, the Energielandschaft is constantly developing. This is what Morbach stands for. Besides the location of more companies in the Energielandschaft, we want to convey this development into the community. We want to persuade our citizens that renewable energies are our future and that we need them to support us in that. Only in common effort we reach our great goal, to be self-sufficient with energy by 2020. The Energielandschaft in Morbach. A truly successful project. It shows how tomorrow's energy can be gained and used, environmentally friendly and economically, for a better future for Morbach, for the environment, for everyone.